probably something. Yeah, so yeah, no, I'm grateful to have stayed for the kids. I think that's crazy to some people, like, no, you got to put yourself first, but this is service and we're called to higher purpose, and that it requires giving more of yourself. And I did exactly that, I believe. And some days I'm like, what did you do? Why did you do it this way? But looking back and even hearing the stories that I'm catching even now, just the beginning, I'm grateful to know that I had a part to play in that. Because he is fighting for AmeriCorps in the South. He's been working
Yes.
that. And I'm going to brag on him because he's not here and he won't look at me awkwardly like, please stop. But truly, he has a heart of service, as well as all of us do in our own way. But he stands out amongst the stars. And it adds to mine because it's like, what's next, Jordan? So we're going to continue impacting, getting things done as we always do, and it's gonna be worth it in the end. So
The AmeriCorps Connections Podcast, the unofficial hub for AmeriCorps and National Service alum who are still showing up long after their service term is finished. If you've ever served or know someone who has, then you are in the right place. But I want to get serious. We're in some unprecedented times for our country and for the legacy of AmeriCorps. If you've listened to this podcast, then you know that those AmeriCorps members, they were tutoring students. Some of them were building houses. Some of them were working in environmental education. They were serving our seniors. They were serving our students, our communities, and they were just making things better for America. I could go on, but if you're a fan of the content of this podcast, then we need you to speak up and speak out. Please consider contacting your member of Congress by using the Voices for National Service tool, which is going to be linked in the show notes. AmeriCorps is an investment we want to support. Please reach out to your congressperson and let them know that this evidence-based and evaluated program shows a return of $34 for every federal dollar invested. AmeriCorps is one of the most cost-effective investments our country can make in education, disaster response, in health and environmental stewardship, and so much more. Plus, as you know from listening to this podcast, the AmeriCorps, the alum, we go on from this program, more than 1.3 million of us, we go on to be leaders, teachers, public servants, business owners, doctors, and so much more. If you've listened to this content and you found it valuable, please consider using the tool in the show notes, reaching out to your congressperson and letting them know you are either an alum yourself or you are a friend of AmeriCorps and you believe that you want this program to be invested in. Now we're going to move on to our next episode. And again, if you are a fan of this, please subscribe if you're on YouTube and share this podcast far and wide. Even share it with your member of Congress. Let's share the story of AmeriCorps. Thanks for listening and on to our next episode.
I'll probably something. Yeah, so yeah, no, I'm grateful to have stayed for the kids. I think that's crazy to some people, like, no, you got to put yourself first, but this is service and we're called to higher purpose, and that it requires giving more of yourself. And I did exactly that, I believe. And some days I'm like, what did you do? Why did you do it this way? And but looking back and even hearing the stories that I'm catching even now, just the beginning, I'm grateful to know that I had a part to play in that. And it adds to mine because it's like, what's next, Jordan? So we're going to continue impacting, getting things done as we always do, and it's going to be worth it in the end. So
Yeah. So when you say kids, what age group are they? They're high schoolers, right? For
yes, so
college bound?
definitely. So I primarily am focused on seniors and juniors in K-12, but I had the opportunity to kind of branch out a little bit, of course, and work with freshmen and sophomores just through the way that I kind of moved in the school and did my programming. Um, I created my own stuff too, so that was really beneficial in me branching out into, the younger classes, but even kind of connected some with the middle school on certain events and things like that. So I was really grateful to I definitely did get the full high school experience twice. So
Well,
I think something that's important about that is like you're not looking at colleges by your senior year. You should probably already know where you're going. So it's really that sophomore, junior, where you have to help them kind of orient themselves, and those middle schoolers who are like, college what? Like what? And Mark Weller, right?
Yeah. Mark Well.
He like he was so he is awesome. I am so glad he's the director down there. But
Shout out at some probably again. We love Mark. We're grateful. Love you, Nikki. Of course. Thank you for. We wouldn't be doing this. I
No.
wouldn't be. So we're gonna get flowers, but thank you and thank Mark. Love him.
Oh no, I mean I was like this podcast is being about Mark. Hey Mark, shoot that to Mark Weller. Director, is he still a director of South Carolina Commission?
So Mark Weller is the executive director of the South Carolina Service Commission and South Carolina AmeriCorps.
Yeah.
The United Way. So I can do an introduction a little bit, I guess, but
Yeah.
he is still running and keeping things. He is fighting for AmeriCorps in the South. He's been
Yes.
working that. And I'm going to brag on him because he's not here and he won't look at me awkwardly like, please stop. But truly, he has a heart of service, as well as all of us do in our own way. But he stands out amongst the stars. And I mean, I'll to be very transparent about how real of a person and genuinely authentic. I was just getting back from vacation literally last week. So, Juneteenth. And Mark was like, we have, the Carolinas have gotten together and kind of worked on some training, which I think is beautiful that we're, doing that partnership. Mark had called, said, if everything's okay, he's just so understanding. And I was stuck in Florida after the fender bender. And I was like, Mark, I'm not going to make it. I am so sorry. And he's like, oh my gosh. Well, I mean, did you enjoy the Bahamas? Like, that's what I'm saying. Well, did you enjoy like Florida? I mean, I understand, but are you good? And he's so genuine. Personal service is personal. So South Carolina is definitely in good hands. If anybody's questioning it, we've had, of course, people come in and open doors and start things, but we've been through this time really guided and directed in a good way. So
Yeah.
I mean, the mentor for sure.
This is great. So folks, I'm really excited to have Jordan Snipes on the AmeriCorps Connections podcast. When I was down in South Carolina, running that commission, not even running it. I don't know. Everybody else was running it. I was there.
You were with her.
I was.
I wasn't there either. Never mind.
You weren't. I know, right? But Jordan was one of our youth commissioner that joined the South Carolina State Service Commission. And for several reasons, I wanted Jordan on this podcast because I want folks to understand, especially young folks, you have an opportunity that you could also join a state service commission and be a voice for the youth to really steer the direction of service in your state. And Jordan, I don't think you really knew a ton about AmeriCorps until you became part of the commission. And then it was like, what now? AmeriCorps. So tell the viewers about how you found out about this opportunity and your journey. Let's start with when you started with the Service Commission and before that.
No, absolutely. So hello to those that are watching whenever you're watching. My name is Jordan Snipes and I am from South Carolina, Lake City, to be exact. I'm very proud of Lake City because of Ron McNair and all of the things that he's accomplished. So I'm very proud to be a Lake Cityan. But yeah, so I joined the South Carolina Service Commission. I was in college at Winthrop University in Rock Hill, South Carolina. So I'm also a Rock Hillian by default in that sense. But yeah, so I was just honestly, I think COVID definitely had happened. And we were just getting back into the semester, starting off, getting involved. And I definitely was getting back into the swing of things because I'm definitely the person that wants to be involved and engaged. A little bit about my background, what got me just in the idea of service and leadership and community impact was 4-H. I was a 4-H'er in high school. I started a program in honor of the late Reverend and Senator Clemente Pinckney, a part of the Emmanuel 9 of Charleston, South Carolina. That was a learning moment for me in life because of what happened and learning more about who he is, just living in his legacy and the others that lost their lives to a tragedy. I think many in our communities in the state and even across the country at that time, we came together and found triumph in unity. So that really locked me into
Can you
everything.
tell us? Can you tell us a little snippet of that story for folks that don't know?
Absolutely. Yeah. So back in 2015, literally we just passed June, right before Juneteenth. So I'm thinking about the 10th through the 15th time. Um, there was a horrible incident of a church shooting in Charleston, South Carolina, at basically what a night that most would expect to just be having a simple prayer meeting. Many were gathered, and I don't want to name the church because I don't. There's too many AME churches, but
Right.
Mother Emanuel AME, duh. However, an outsider had decided to attend a prayer meeting that those were gathered at, and of course, no one would have expected that. With it being a predominantly Black church and a white man coming in, I think that really shows that community specifically that there's no division of race. Like, if you are choosing a life and a path of faith and religion, anybody that truly believes in that will welcome you into that space. And being welcomed, he took that opportunity and misused it horribly and attacked innocent people that were just praying and having Bible study. And so one of the Emmanuel Nine was Senator Clemente Pinckney, who was also the reverend of the church. And it was just a horrible, horrible thing. And not even being from Charleston specifically, but close enough in radius, it didn't just hit the city. It didn't just affect the state. It affected the country, to where President Barack Obama came down for the funeral. And so many people just looked to that as like, people wanted to be angry. People wanted to bring up racial tension because in the South, I mean, it's a hot topic, race itself. There's a predominantly Black culture down here in the South. That's where we all came from, origins of going and stuff, but just people, dealing with that in our
So you
demographic.
started a program in honor of him. So
No,
what did that look like?
I didn't personally
Oh,
start.
okay.
I joined it. They started a year
Gotcha.
after 16.
Okay.
But just the impact of his legacy, being a senator, being a reverend, a man of faith, a man of community, it brought everybody together. And I read about his bio when I was a sophomore in high school, and they were launching a program at Clemson University in honor of him. So I was like, I have to be a part of this because just the whole incident, it pulled on the heartstrings to really, we don't know how much time we have to make an impact in the lives of
Right.
others.
Yeah.
Right.
Oof.
And
Yes.
service looks different to everybody, but how you make people feel if you're really trying to make that positive impact definitely matters. And I was like, this is who I want to be. I want to say that I have a life and a legacy that can turn not all eyes on me, but on the work that's being done and bringing us all together. So that was really what got my start in service. It projected my desire to get into political science, community activism, community service, and really set the trajectory for me. So I got heavily involved in 4-H in general, and my 4-H agent, not even mine, because I had a lot. I'm from Florence, and I knew about all 42 of them. I was doing so much, I got to meet every single one of them. And on the commission in 2022, when we were looking for a youth commissioner, she actually reached out to me and a couple of others, and I took the time to apply. And I was like, and I hadn't even spoken to her in about a year because I'd already been in college. And she just hit me up and said, hey, fill out this application. You'd be great. And that was it. She's so nonchalant about everything, but she's a wild card. And I wasn't expecting it, but I did it. And I applied, and then we met and I interviewed. So I
Did you
think,
really? So when you got, this is the thing about AmeriCorps and commissions and stuff like that. There's so much nuance.
yeah,
Did you know what you were applying for? Or were you like, my mentor told me to do this? And because I have people in my life when they tell me to do something and I'm like, I don't even know what it is. I'm like, but they told me to do it. I'm doing it. Right. I don't know what it is, but whatever is going to be on the other side of it, I'm going to be a better person. I'm going to be better connected or whatever.
like,
So when you,
or
yeah.
that,
So when you were filling out were you doing?
I was. She told me who she had reached out to, and I was like, okay, well, they're doing it, then I definitely should do it.
Yeah.
And I mean, but for myself, the fact, because me and my agent at the time, Miss Janine, love you, shout out to you, one of them, wasn't like we we would speak if I saw her, like we were
Right.
good, but we
Right.
just didn't talk. So it was so random for her to send that out to me, and I'm grateful because really it was, hey, if she sent it to me, took the time to do it. And the thing about mentorship, like people that you build that relationship and rapport with and trust, you don't have to be like the everyday talker
Right.
or, you know, every so often I'm checking. But the moments that we shared when we gathered for 4-H things, she took the time to invest in me, talk to me, build that relationship,
Yeah.
and really authentically herself. But she saw that light and spark in me to be an addition to what AmeriCorps is doing in South Carolina on the commission. So I
Yeah.
feel like that volumes, not just for her, but it made me feel good. So I definitely took that opportunity. And honestly, I don't think she knows everything I've been doing. We are Facebook friends, so she sees, but to know everything that's transpired from it, I definitely think she would get a hoot
Well,
out of
you can
it.
definitely share this episode with her once we put it out there in the world and say, do it now. So you applied and we were looking for a youth commissioner and the interview was great. And I believe on the interview you mentioned something, I think about either your mother or your grandmother that that triggered something for
I'll
service.
probably tell.
I know. So sorry, I was going on a tangent, but yes, like, isn't it fun to be in a position where you're, especially like in the commission, because you have so many connections,
No,
you know,
absolutely. And
so many.
because I think even as we were talking last time, personally, back 2-3 months ago, I was like, no, you need to meet this person and this person.
Yes.
Because you would love them I just know from the conversations we've had and how they're still working now, new people on our commission that are staff. It's beautifully crafted and timing is everything. And it's all falling into place. We're all where we need to be for this season of the nonprofit sector and just the mission moving forward. And I definitely, like, you have been one, Mark always, Missy, whenever she sees somebody, she's like, I know them. Good to see you.
Missy knows everybody in South
Missy,
Carolina.
yes, and all the way to Columbia. I know this person. Let me call
Yeah.
them. And currently, like, I'm getting ready to transition into a master's program at Furman University in Greenville, South Carolina. And Mark, that was my first recommendation.
Yeah. Yeah.
And who he connected me with, Jana Pennington. Shout out to Jana Pennington. So she actually is going to be my program director. And I would not have had this connection had I been involved with the commission. And even beyond that, America's Service Commissions Network.
Oh.
We haven't talked about that, but I've had the opportunity to be a youth commissioner on the board of directors for America's Service Commissions. I currently serve. This has been my first year, October 2024. I was slated in, and I've been going with that since. So sometimes I'm like, what are you doing, Jordan?
And it's like a ride. And you're, oh my God, I want you to talk about what you did as an AmeriCorps member, just to circle back to what he's talking about, the American Service Commission. They are the association that commissions are all part of. They provide for policy, but then also logistics and training. I mean, they're just top notch. And so what Jordan, they have their own board of directors. And so what Jordan is talking about is that he also went along with like South Carolina's commission. He went on the board of this national association. So this comes from a youth. And how old are you?
I'm 24. I turned 24.
24 years old, going from 4 years ago, not knowing what AmeriCorps is, to this national platform. I'm so excited for you. So let's just circle back. It opens up so many doors. So it really does. And youth commissioners are available no matter where you're listening to this. Look up your national service state commission and see if they're looking for a youth commissioner, because we need, everyone's looking for it, and we need your input because old fogies, we're just like trying to keep things together. Y'all have the vision of what's next. But so you joined College Advising Corps. not
Mm.
knowing what it was, but obviously you figured it out because you stayed around for another year. So can you tell folks like what you did during your service year?
No, absolutely. So my day to day would be basically getting up, trying to make it by 7:45, walking in at 8 o'clock.
I like how that is part of your day.
Like
We
the
start
challenge,
giving
uh,
up, getting up.
getting up and going in with a smile on my face. But no, what I would do is just meet with senior students that were about to transition into college and prepare them with opportunities and have conversations about college career readiness, workforce development opportunities, or assisting them with, of course, financial aid, FAFSA, as we all may be familiar with, and if not, free application for financial stuff, all of that. I didn't say the full acronym,
That's okay.
money for college, right? That's important, but also military service as well. And so I would just do regular check-ins with them, do data tracking to make sure that wherever they were applying, I was keeping up with it. And really for me I learned through my service, I don't like data tracking. It's important for us in this field. Understand how it's like,
Clever.
however, boo, tomato. Um, what really meant the most to me, what got me up every day, wanting to do it whether I didn't feel it or not, were the students that I connected with, the memories that we made just sitting. I had couch time. That's something I picked up from my mentor at college. Like, she was vice president of student affairs, Sheila Burkhalter. Shigs, love you. If you ever see this, I'm gonna send it to you. I took her couch time thing and really made an opportunity for me to talk with the kids in a very informal setting, to really just connect and hear them out. If it wasn't even about college, I was like, you know what? Life is crazy. You're at this age.
Mhm.
I can relate to it because with College Advising Corps, you're a recent graduate, of course, and they only prefer, my understanding is about 2 years out, because the college culture changes so quickly. You lose
Yeah.
sight. Well, of course, they cycle us out, and that's fine. It's sad, but again, we just want to make sure that we're relatable to the students that are about to go in. But I took that to them, and we would just talk about how you're feeling. What are your thoughts and excitement or fears, anxiousness? Let's figure it out. And if I couldn't fix the problem, because I didn't fix a lot of them, but we're going to talk to the guidance counselor and figure this out, or I can help you and send you this scholarship, this information, give you this word of encouragement for the day to not worry about your next steps, because you're going to be fine. It might not look like it in the moment, it might not feel like it, but that was really what kept me going, because that's so crucial. If your mind and isn't right about it, if your heart's not feeling it, I think that's what kills the desire to progress and develop more, and the opportunity and just ambition of a lot of young people can die if no one's nurturing it. So I felt like a nurturer.
Yeah. I was just talking to a friend earlier today about having a goal. And I think that college could be one of those big, hairy, audacious goals that kids that are in high school are like, yeah, they're freshman, sophomore year. They're like, I'm going to go to college. But the whole, like, I did not go to college after high school. Like,
Look at you. You're doing great.
oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. You can kind of see I do have a degree. I have a degree and I have a master's certificate. So I'm doing okay. And I have a podcast. And part of it was because nobody in my family had gone to college. So, and I was a high school athlete, like a good high school athlete, if I want to toot my own horn, but I didn't know the process. So
Wow.
I distinctly remember walking by the library when everybody was taking an SAT, which I didn't even know what that was. And I thought to myself, well, I'm going to the beach. Too bad for those people that are in that building, taking SAT. Like, I have the better life, right?
I want to go back and take that SAT. Sat down.
I know. In fact, so I went to the University of Maryland, Baltimore County, UMBC. I swear to God, I probably couldn't even get in there now, right? Like, it was crazy. And I distinctly remember when I decided I wanted to go back to college. I was sitting around a fire, and I was with my then husband and a bunch of his college buddies, and they were talking about their college experience. And literally, Jordan, I am not even kidding you. This is how I make decisions. People do not want to have free rent inside my brain.
I'll do it.
I was looking around and I was listening to them, and I was probably like 34, 35. And I go, I want to go to college. And the next week, I literally walked into admissions with a pen and I was like, how do I apply for college? They were like, you do it online. I'm, what? So I wish I would have had a college advisor because I had to apply for FAFSA. I had to apply to the campus and do all of the things. I didn't know what I was doing. Luckily, I got in and they kept me. And then it was another funny story I'll just tell you, and then it's back to you. But I remember it took me like 6 years to graduate because I was married and had a family. So it was like only taking 2 or 3, 4 classes at a time. And I remember my college advisor called me in, Sandy Parker, and he said, Nicki, you need to apply for graduation. I was looking out and he has windows all around his office and he had spent time in the Amazon. So he had all kinds of things all over the place. My degree's in environmental studies, geography and environmental studies. And I looked out his window and I went, this, it's really scary out there. And what if I can't do anything? And he goes, I think you're going to be fine. And I was just like, I don't want to leave college. I've been there for 6 years. I knew where I went on Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. I loved my books. You know what I mean? Like it was just this routine and I was learning new stuff. And so anyways, I say all that to say, thank God, because I feel like college can be so out of reach for people. And I also understand that college isn't the way to go for all people, right? I think AmeriCorps is an amazing bridge for folks that are not ready to go to college. Try service, try something, get some experience. And then if you want to go to college, guess what? You have a couple grand that you can throw into the pot. You have an education award. But I think what you're saying is so important, that you helped kids, you helped them keep that little spark. And I think that's so important. It's so important. And that's awesome that you did it for 2 years.
Shout out to all the advisors, to my team, Furman College Advising Corps. I think we're doing a change of names and everything. There are people out there, I think, that triggered so many. Thank you for your story, because that triggered so many thoughts I want to say and comment. One, you don't have to go to college. I'm not going to lie. That's totally against what my job was. But there are so many outlets. Service is definitely one of them. Getting a trade is another. Going and serving our country is a huge honor. Some might feel indifferent just because of the times we're living in right now, but it's still a sacrifice and a duty and a responsibility. And you just can't even say that highly enough, because I have family that serve it too. And I know I wouldn't do it. I'm not built for that. So I appreciate them and all those who choose to serve. And even one of my students, I will shout them out too, because 3 of them actually signed, no, 4 signed to join Army. One actually I just saw today, he got deployed. I actually went to the graduation ceremony of one that really got me. I cried because she didn't get to walk because she already went to training, but she texted me and said, my graduation's Friday. That was on the Monday when I definitely had to rearrange my whole schedule. Girl, I got to find out where you are, get in and all that. But just knowing her, because she was like, I'm going to college, I'm doing this. And she's stressed about testing, applications, all these things. But she felt like she could do more. And the Army might be a way out for some people, depending on how you look at it. And it can be. It's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. But it challenged her in a way that she felt like she needed. And I'm so proud of her for doing that. And then literally the next day she got deployed somewhere else. I don't know when's the next time I'll see her, but I'm so proud of her and proud of all of my students that are going all over. And I'm not going to share all the locations, but just seeing them in the year, I couldn't be more proud of them for making that decision. Those that are going to work, they need to go to work because they don't like school. And they told me that. They said, I don't like this. And that's okay, because they were good at their craft and they're going to take care of themselves, really. And I think that's one thing. And it was something that it's not about just being there to help them with the resources that they might have to go online and do, because some of them didn't think to go online either. But it's really just reminding them that they can do it no matter what. In our motto, we say it all the time, getting it done. It just has to get done, and you can do it.
Get it done.
And that's really it. How you
I
get it
do
done?
think we need to add shit. Get shit done. I know we shouldn't, but I just feel like If our president can drop an F-bomb, then we can add shit to get shit done. Okay, sorry.
Does
I
that
may
happen?
edit that. I don't know. Probably not.
No, but I love it. We see each other, but for the sake of it, adding that specifically, it does get done.
Yes.
It does get done.
Yeah.
What does? You insert the blank for yourself.
Exactly. So you were advising students to go to college, and I'm sure you should do a whole podcast on where all your students went, honestly.
Let me write that down because you gave me an idea last time we talked, but guys, this is Jordan Snipes and I'm starting my own podcast. Where are they now?
Where are they now? That is literally, so actually this is a perfect transition because the genesis of this podcast was, I was like, oh my gosh, there's 1.3 million AmeriCorps members that have served in AmeriCorps. Where are they? What are they doing? So you serve.
What are no?
Yeah, no kidding. Are you hiring? So you finished your second term today, and we're recording on June 30th. So this podcast won't come out until I edit it, until I find somebody that'll edit things for me. So let's go there. What's next for Jordan Snipes? What's next for you?
Right. So I think the beautiful thing I discovered about AmeriCorps, the opportunity for the grant awards that they give, which if you know anything about what's going on, just how 2025 has been for nonprofits, how 2025 has been for AmeriCorps. A benefit for me looking at it is I'm doing this as service, and you shouldn't do anything for anything in return, right? But the beauty is you do get rewarded to help further your education impact and continuing. So like, it's a little good pat on the shoulder. So I'm grateful for that grant award as well to help me go to grad school because I did want to. I just didn't want to do it right after I graduated.
Right.
I wanted to rest. I wanted to do something meaningful. And being as involved in college as I was like, I can tell people how to get their network started. And FAFSA is not my favorite either, but this is how you start. And just having those conversations. But now I'm going to grad school for a master's in leadership and innovation. So I'm excited.
Wow.
Yes, at Furman University. And it's full circle because I didn't go there for school. They were like, not yet, obviously. So I went with Winthrop Everstand. But I'm excited to attend Furman and really learn from people that understand AmeriCorps. And also, this is just a shout out to whoever listens. Always go where people want you to be there with them. Like go where you really have to. And I think I look at that for my applying for jobs. I've looked at that. Being a part of programs like that, well, this is more than a program, but an organization truly that is making a difference. If they want you there, go there because they don't have time to BS what we're doing. People's livelihoods are on the line. Impact is being made. A difference is happening. Whether you're seasoned in experience or if you're just getting started like young people, I'm excited because I've seen more now that there is a larger network of people my age. I'm gonna say 25 and under.
Mm-hmm.
Even my kids that I work with, I should say students, but they're like my little kids to me. Of course.
I know.
Like they'll always.
When I was a program director, I had people who were in their 60s, and I was my kids. I was just like, we don't
look at the meaning. It's very endearing, and I feel like
I was looking out for them. You know what I mean? Like.
It's literally, I never left my hometown. I went to to a town smaller than mine. And every day just, well, what'd you have for dinner last night? Oh, that's your cousin over there. Everybody's cousins with everybody.
Yeah.
I know all the tea. Everybody's spilling it. Unfortunately, it's on social media. I'm going to hear about it. But truly, you are grafted into your community. It's community impact all the way. AmeriCorps is community and it becomes family. So I see your stuff all the time about this is what we need to save AmeriCorps. And I'll be transparent. Are there things that could have been done differently? Absolutely. But are there people that are making the difference still needing to do that work? Absolutely. Nobody would have experienced the loss and cuts that have happened.
Yeah, let's speak to that real quick. So folks, again, it's June 30th, the big, beautiful bill. I don't know if it's going to pass or not. I don't know if AmeriCorps is in there. I don't know. I've heard that grants were awarded, but they were not paid yet. AmeriCorps has been around for 30 years. And yes, Jordan, there's things that like we could have done differently. However, when you're on a really low budget, you can only do what you can do when you have the resources, what you can do. Bottom
Right.
line, right? So for folks, go back to the Maureen Eckelson and Chad Driscoll interview. We recorded that on a Friday after NCCC was dismantled or
That
defunded,
was,
I guess.
yeah.
And then Monday, the entire AmeriCorps program, or maybe it was Tuesday, was defunded, right? So anyways, I don't know what's going to happen between the time we say this and this goes out, but
I'm
yeah.
wearing my AmeriCorps member hat, and because I have to be careful how I say it. I know the people I worked with. I know I would be sad at not being able to have the opportunity to walk in and make the
Yeah.
impact generation of leaders, whether they want to do service or whether they want to do something to build themselves up. That's what I did every day. I know that there are others out there that did an amazing job and did things that we don't think about because it's just so built into our community. So people at the top might not see that, but we know how we felt and what it does for us here. I'm not going to say at the bottom, but on the outside.
Yeah.
From where they might be seated at. Sorry. But so I think and I feel blessed to truly have had the privilege to not experience that as an AmeriCorps member. And my heart goes out to everybody that's just been going through it for the past couple of months and maybe this year, because the nonprofit sector is so beautiful, the impact and work that happens in AmeriCorps itself. So there could be debates about it all day. But what I will say too is the work is still going to get done. Absolutely. And young people, I think I had a fear back in April, right? Probably right around we talked, because I think that's literally
when everything was.
And I was like, what am I going to do? This is what I want to step into, and everything's getting intact. Not to be political in any way, shape, or form.
No, it's what happened.
What's going on? Like,
Yeah.
because I can see both sides. I like to say I bleed purple. Bipartisanship and really working hand in hand. That's what this is about. We cannot wear those hats that make us divided.
That's right.
Not divisive work. This is we pick it up and get it done for real. We're discouraged and like, what is next? Because this is what I want to do, and how can I do it if it's taken away? And not just with AmeriCorps, but all nonprofits, right? So, but I think it's really shown me like the opportunities for young people to step up into, because it's generational transitions are happening, I believe. Such as myself as an example. I'm 24, Gen Z, and I'm getting ready to step into this. And kids a part of oh gosh, what are they? Alpha, is that
Alpha.
They're the students I was working with. They're already trying to do all these things. I'm like, oh, I thought I had myself together, but no, the future's still bright. We're still going to make it if cultivate it more, and I should say innovate and lead into that. So that's what I'm going to school for. I'm excited to be a part of that journey. I really can't say what it's going to look like, but if we're going to any type of dispute or battle for, let's say, championship, I don't want to say if we're going to champion for anything, it's going to be for national service, and I'm excited for that because we're not giving up the fight. So all across.
That's so good. What a great crescendo of this very dynamic and energetic interview. I have a question for you though. Were you first generation college graduate for your family?
I wasn't. My mom did degree. Very proud of her. I think another thing too, just my mom, shout her out. She's so what's the word? What's a good word about your mom? Like
resilient.
Yeah, because she is a single mom. So absolutely, anybody doing that, it's a journey. But her character and her demeanor is so soft and so giving in a sense too. Because the side of me that wants to be quiet and listen and not always speak, because she's so to herself and reserved, but she cares and shows her compassion through the acts of service as well. Because she works at our community library. She's been there my whole life. And I think just her heart for seeing how she would do the kids programs. She would have adults book club. She hosts the book club. They do community events, and that fits her because
Mm-hmm.
it's not overwhelming. She hates a big crowd. She's not going to talk to you right away. I'm going to look down, smile at you, and look away. Like, she's adorable. She's not even real sometimes. I've had my coworkers tell me they've met her and they're like, she's not real. She can't be. She's too sweet. What happened to you, Jordan?
Oh,
But she really instilled in me too. You can be the silent leader,
mm-hmm.
certainly.
Yeah.
So I'm grateful to have that perspective growing up too, and just really the outpour to impact young children, because that's what she would do a lot. She's like, I got story time. Do you like this book, Jordan? I don't read books, and my mother's a librarian for 24 years. That's not something to be proud of. I'm not embarrassed, but
audiobooks for Jordan.
I'm
So
just tell me about your experience. I learned through stories of people,
yeah.
I
Mm-hmm.
like the autobiography. Talk to me.
Yeah.
But she'll
Yeah.
on it, so
So as we wrap up, I was thinking about it in contrast to my journey where I started out as an AmeriCorps member, and then I built and built and built, and then I had this like 50,000-foot view when I was at the commission level, and I was like, oh my God, this thing's really impactful. I feel like you came in at that 20,000-foot view, and you were like, it's almost like astro travel when you're like, I don't know where I am, but I'm not like in my bed. And then to go to America's Service Commission and be on that board that elevates you to that 50,000-foot view. And then you went all the way back down to be boots on the ground and be an AmeriCorps member. And then you also help people get into college. So with that inverted experience, literal roller coaster.
that asteroid that came through Georgia, South Carolina, just the other,
Yes,
that's me.
that's you. Yeah. So
So
with this different orientation of, instead of like this kind of thing, it was like,
yeah,
I asked this question on all the podcasts about AmeriCorps alums, like, what do you see for us in the future? But we're in a wonky time, right? There may not be AmeriCorps in the future. We don't know. So let me try to rephrase this, and I probably should have thought about it a little bit before the interview. But how could we support our communities if there were no AmeriCorps? Let's just say if there were no Amer, how could we take the spirit of service and not only give back to our community, but build up servant leaders, like you said. When
oh
you
yeah,
go through AmeriCorps, you come out the other side different. You just do. Good, bad, or indifferent, you come out different. So I don't know. What do you think of that?
that's a good question. That's so loaded, and I love it. So to break it down, what's next for AmeriCorps or the members still serving? How do we continue the vessel?
Yeah.
I hope I was summarizing it or alluding to it already. It's still the acts of the vessels, people that choose to answer that call of service. We're still going to be here. We're not going anywhere. Thankfully, there is things outside of AmeriCorps that we can graft ourselves to, that I've seen and I've picked up on. And there's a larger nonprofit community and even for-profit things that are coming together to work to make things happen. So I'm grateful to see that and recognize that. But as in terms of the times that we're in and what can we do, what does that look like? It's still formulating. Not to say it's too early. I think from my perspective, I just believe that there will be people ready to band together that are still fighting for AmeriCorps, first and foremost. And I do believe that we are, and probably is happening right now as we speak, making sure that there is a entity that will still continue to do the work.
Yeah.
I mean, truly, I really think it just comes down to the people that are willing to stand up and say, this is my life. I don't know any other way to live, but then to give back to others. And I will say I've learned at my big age of 24 that just from my mentors, even as I continue to make connections, and I'm excited to continue to make more, the kids that I've poured into, I've taken everything that I've gotten from the time I started in 4-H, Faith Truesdale, love you, shout out, Rashondo, shout out, Trap, all these people, Mark, all of these people that really have just impacted me and so many more. It's really about taking what we've learned and continuing to have the connection to build the community the relationships and rapport, the mentorship is big for me. Like with this opportunity to be in high schools and guide and get that advice, the mentorship that I've built with my students as well, they had the skills. They just needed somebody to see the outside perspective and to build and craft. So we are the vessels. We are. If it's not some organization with the title and 501c3 or 501(c)(7), whatever the numbers are, there's so many 501c3, but we're the
I
vessels
love
that
that.
continue to make the impact. And that's all it can be, is us
I
doing it. I think there's going to be more concrete things happening, but service is of the heart. I believe that's my core values personally, my faith that I have growing up. Thank God for the opportunities I've had, because I just wouldn't be able to do that. So I think we're going to be okay regardless. And sometimes that's important in service, telling people no matter what, you're going to be
gonna
okay.
be okay. Yeah.
That's all we need
Yeah.
sometimes. That helps me get up. That helps me keep going. So it's going to be
Love it.
okay.
I love that. Thank you so much. And I like how I really am going to two things that you had said that I'm going to latch onto. Number one, we are the vessels. We are the vessels of change, and grafted into your community. Being
Yeah.
somebody with environmental studies, I understand grafting. So grafting means that you take a piece of something and you add it to something else and it grows together.
Absolutely.
And I think
like
that's such a good, because you can graft service and you can lay it on top of something else and it will grow together into something where we are the vessels. And I think that is a beautiful explanation of that, for sure. This was so good. Talk to you forever.
I know. And I think we have to plan. So while it's still on the record, we still need to plan more talks, or like this podcast. I got to get my people together. So you come
Yes.
on mine. We'll see.
Yes.
Where are you? It's but for national service as well.
Mhm.
That's what it's giving. That's what
Yeah.
I'm seeing. I want to share this last little thing because I
Okay.
was looking trying to
Share
find
it.
it. It's just like, the hours that they did our report, because they've collected our data. And this was just what was reported from my program
Yeah.
in Chester counties. So me and my cohort I was one of 6 college advisors. We did 10,200 plus hours in our school districts, hosted 1,000 or 1,800 basically one-on-one student meetings that were just recorded appropriately. Because sometimes you're just catching somebody in the hall, they're crying, life's going on. It's a silly
Wow.
moment. It's a big day, a good day, a bad day. And the volunteering that we did, that's just what was reported. And I know I've had many sleepless nights, many long hour days where going to games to watch things. So I really do believe, to tie in and to end again with you on the note of we are the vessels. We're going to carry service with us no matter where we go. And that impact's going to be made. And the next generation is rising up for sure. And we might have to come back and do an episode specific on that, because we did all the things. And
Yeah.
I'm down for it, so let me know. But
Yeah, it might be actually really cool to have the other youth commissioners that are serving on the Ask board all together. So lots of ideas. Okay, we're going to wrap this up. Jordan,
Yes.
thank you so much. And everyone, if you've gone this far, and I should have said this at the beginning, please and subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube. It actually makes a difference. It will bring this podcast up in the algorithms, and it makes it more popular into more people's feeds. So it is really important if people can do that. And Jordan, thank you so much. Until next time, folks, where is it? Stay true to yourself, find your purpose, and follow your passion.
I like
All
it.
right. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.